Didn't see you there. I'm Edwin Gamez, and welcome to
Old News!
Today we're going to discuss whether or not Haitian revolutionary Toussaint Louverture was a hero or a villain. Spoiler alert, many of his deceptive acts against his opponents, rivals, and even his own people failed to deny him being a villain to certain groups. For more, I pass it on to Edwin in the studio.
Thanks, Edwin. Louverture was born among a small and privileged class of slaves to humane masters in 1743. Eventually, Toussaint was freed from slavery at around the age of 33, and colonial records show that he became a land and slave owner himself. Toussaint ultimately became a main organizer of the Haitian slave revolts of 1791. After having made himself ruler of the island for years, Louverture died as a French prisoner in Fort de Jacques on April 7, 1803. Now, you folks at home may be asking, but Edwin, if he helped emancipate slaves and gain independence for Haiti, what makes him such a bad guy? Well, shut up, I'm getting to that. For this answer, we must not restrict our perspectives. For example, according to Professor of History Douglas A. Egerton, the Haitian Revolution was, quote, a moment of enormous terror for the planter class in the Americas, and there, quote, was no doubt in the white mind that they were dealing with a very fierce and very dangerous foe. In command of the entire island, Toussaint also dictated a constitution that made him governor-general for life with near absolute powers. Through devious maneuvers, Toussaint also forced rivals like Ledger Félicité Sonthonax and Gabriel Edouville off the island. He was often deceptive to achieve his goals, and this resulted in villainy against his allies and even his own people. According to John E. Fagg of Britannica, Louverture defied French revolutionary laws, allowing, quote, many emigre planters to return, and he used military discipline to force the former slaves to work. In 1802, an anonymous author of Saint Domingue's mixed-race middle class also created a hybrid portrait of Toussaint, expressing admiration for Louverture's abilities, but calling him a cruel tyrant, albeit noting he became cruel when his power was threatened. Now, that guy Lucas may mention Louverture's insistence on protecting his former slave owner from the violence of the Haitian Revolution. Unfortunately, his alliance to his former master could be seen as a betrayal to the millions of his fellow slaves that had suffered at the hands of white privilege and slavery's oppression.
In the end, we must not label historical figures like Louverture as being heroes or villains. In his case, we can admire the great results of his military leadership, but we must recognize the obvious cruelty and lust for power that he possessed. He cannot be an exception to this scrutiny. This was Old News.